when I started my career, as you know, I had my own bands for years, and I had this weird idea that if I was just good, it was just only about talent. I lived in this little bubble.
Right.
You know, it's just going to happen if you're good enough, but you wouldn't actually try to have a hit. But man, when I got into doing more urban music, it was quite a shock for me how people were just very pragmatic. They'd be like, I want to have a hit. It's like, oh, is it all right just to say that?
Right.
But the other thing that got me was how people were like really actually kind of educated about how the business worked and how much people connected with each other. All the different artists worked together. It was a completely different thing that I had come from. And I wish I'd known some of that as I was preparing my career in the early days when I was an artist.
That's one thing I can say, too, tell every artist that we've ever worked with. You got to study, and you got to connect. You got to connect with people before you, people in your brand, and people that are not in your brand. It's going to make you a well-rounded artist. It's going to make you think better. It's going to make you become a more diverse person. So when you get at the boardroom with the Coca-Cola after you don't blew up and now they want you to work with them, you can say something that make them say, you know what, this is a great decision. And not only is it a great decision, we want to be in bed with you for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You ever notice how some artists, you say, man, how did that dude get on? How did that girl get on, right? What are they doing? Why is Coca-Cola messing with them and not messing with me? I'm hot, right? The reason why they're messing with them and not you is because they understand the difference between with the homies and in this boardroom. And it became that way because they studied or someone told them what to do and they listened.
You know, there's something you said that made me think about something that I said to my parents when I was getting out of high school. I sat them down one time and I said, hey, I got good news and I got bad news. What do you want to hear first? And they're like, well, let's hear the good news first. I said, I'm going to save you a lot of money. And they're like, oh, what's the bad news? And I said, I'm not going to college. And it was kind of funny, like they seemed relieved because I was a terrible student, but I couldn't see the point of going to college because back then they didn't teach the things I needed to learn or wanted to learn. Also, I knew I would waste their money, but I just kind of wanted to get out in the world and start my career. I wanted to get out and experience things and get in a van and tour and learn about the world. You know, college to me was not something I was interested in.
College is, my grandpa always told me something. The reason he wanted me to go to school was to figure out what I didn't want to do. You get what I'm saying to you? I will waste money on you figuring out what you don't want to do in life, right? So you can figure out what you do want to do in life. Going out of here, getting out of here, being a man on your own, kinda, away from your family, figuring out how to interact with other people from other cultures and other languages and other ethnicities, figuring out how to interact with them is the purpose. I think college is 100% effective for that. But when it comes to job security, nah. I got family that have went to school, graduated with honors, and never used the certificate that they just got a BA in. Even if they go back for their PhD, they still are only getting a certain amount more money in another field that had nothing to do with the college degree in order for them to be able to make an extra more dollars. To be honest with you, I've made more money than anybody in my family. And I went to college, but I never graduated. I figured out, like my grandpa said, I figured out what I didn't want to do in life.
I was thinking about the things that I had given up for my career recently, and I just wanted to ask you, what did you give up to do this?
I gave up stability to be in the music business.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's real. Like, you can't be stable in the music business, not in the beginning, not in the middle. Only when you get the first deal. Not the first deal sometimes. You know, you get a record deal, they give you money.
But even that's not stable.
No,
Suddenly
it's not
you got
stable.
a bunch of money and you're trying to figure that out.
First of all, I think all artists should go through some type of accounting class,
Yeah.
money management class. That's why I would tell the old me, the young me, I would say, listen, Bone, Go to an accounting class. Go to a money management class. I think every artist, before they sign the deal, when they sign the deal, they should be mandatory that they go to some type of accounting class, learn how to manage their money, because at the end of the day, that's really all we have to, that's our downfall, most of us.
Yeah, this business is so crazy. It's like a roller coaster. You go up, then you go down. Then you go up, then you go down.
If you are fortunate to do that.
Yes.
A lot of people go up, come down, and stay down.
Yeah.
And they depart the ride and go somewhere else.
But for lunatics like us, we keep staying on the ride. Yeah. I mean, I think it's about learning to give up your comfort zone. I haven't been comfortable in over 20 years. And it's also about learning to live with uncertainty.
Man, let me tell you something. You hit the nail on the head. Every day, for me, is, okay, today we're going to figure it out. Every day. I mean, even when the money is right, you're still like, okay, today we're going to figure this out. What can I do to continue this money coming in? What can I do to continue living this lifestyle? Because this is not guaranteed. It's a very uneasy lifestyle for those that don't understand it. Like for me, I understand it 1,000%. So I never stress. And that's one thing I always tell anybody in this business. Once you start stressing, it's over. Because that's when you're going to switch. You're going to say, oh, this is bullshit. I'm tired of this fucking shit, and I'm done, right? When you get to that point, that's when you're going to start doing other things outside of music business. And it usually, hopefully it works out for you. But, for me, I haven't got my nut off yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to stay with the girlfriend. You get what I'm saying to you? And she's always been bitter, mean, angry. But every once in a while, she shows her happiness and joy to me. Yep. So I'm foolishly in love with music. And that's really my girlfriend outside of my wife. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, I love music. And I told her she understands it. Like anybody who knows me know, music is everything to me. It's when I breathe, it's everything. But that's the way it's supposed to be. Because if you don't have that in your heart and soul, this is not going to work for you. Because music is not your friend. It loves you, but it don't like you a lot. So it'll always give if you give to it 20,000 times. Mm-hmm. Most people don't get it. In order to get anything in life, you got to sacrifice. If you want to have it all, that's what you need to be doing. If your truck is more important than the music, then that's what you need to be doing. You need to be doing whatever it is that took you to get that truck. Because that's really what it is you need to be doing in life. And I've told many artists this, like, it's nothing wrong with you working at your job, your career, making X amount of dollars a year. That's what you do. This is not what you do. It takes a very strong-willed, very passionate, very tunnel vision, stubborn person to succeed in the music business. Because if you don't have that in your gene and your DNA, it's not going to work for you. You're going to quit. Because the first time something doesn't go the way that you think it should go, you're going to quit. Anybody who's ever been successful in this business know that it's going to be a million times things are not going to go the way that you think they should go. And you just have to bite the bullet and just say, well, okay, cool, that ain't the road I need to go down. Let me try another road. Let me try something else. But what keeps you going is supposed to be the music. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you in a space of love and happiness, man. It don't matter what I go through in my life, even to this day, I always know I have music, right? And that's the difference between a successful artist and a guy that works a 9 to 5. There's been plenty of guys that work 9 to 5 that I've worked with. I'll be like, hey, man, listen, this ain't for you. It just isn't for you, bruh. Because first of all, we work late hours, we work long hours, and we don't get paid most of the time. Yeah. You're used to working long hours, working late hours, and getting paid hourly salary or a salary-based situation. I worked with an artist not too long ago, and he was ready to go. Man, I got to be to work at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't give a fuck you got to be working 9 o'clock in the morning. The music business don't care you got to be working 9 o'clock in the morning. Nobody gives a fuck you got to work at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to make no money doing this. You're not going to be successful at this. You're not going to be fulfilled at this talking about you got to go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and it's 9 o'clock at night. You're talking about you got to go home. Bruh, just do your job, man. That's what you need to be doing, because that's all you care about. Because that pays your household bills, that makes sure your wife stay off your back, your kids stay off your back, and whatever's going on with you. If you're telling me that you don't want to work all the way up until 8:30 in the morning and then go to your job, then you don't need to be doing this.
I've got more stories like this and interviews coming up, so make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.